Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how to do a full setup on a bass guitar. I just set this one up last night. It's actually really nice. Our bass player Trent just bought it. It's an Ibanez Adam Nitti 306, but it came from Georgia. I assume they had it set up really well. I mean, it was intonated, but the problem is, you ship something, I'm in Colorado, you ship something that far, the truss rod's going to need adjustment and all sorts of things are going to kind of fall out of place just from the humidity and things like that. So, and sure enough, it was buzzing like crazy and all that. So I had to re-intonate it just because, you adjust one thing and you have to adjust the other. So if you want to skip ahead, first I'm going to talk about truss rod adjustment, which is neck relief. And then we'll go over action, so your string height, and then we'll just do intonation. So, I mean, that's a pretty basic setup. That's usually what I do, and it gets everything perfect. So, alright, so first of all is your truss rod. So, I don't know if you can see that, I already adjusted this. I go for a slight bow in the neck, and a bow, I'm talking about U-shaped, like a boat, not N-shaped. So if your truss rod is too tight, it's gonna the neck would be like taller in the middle right here, and you don't want that. It's gonna cause fret buzz, and it's just I don't know. It's just bad news. Some people think to to make their their neck as flat as a board. Uh, no, at least I don't like that. Not even on a bass. Usually, if somebody does that, it'll be a bass player. I don't even like that on a bass. So I go for just a little bit of neck relief, just a little bit of that U boat shape. I mean, just barely. You should be able to kind of sight it, look down the neck, and just barely see it kind of curve down. And first of all, you want to check your your neck relief at string tension. So tune your guitar where you're going to play it, let it sit if it wasn't already tuned and stuff, because you got to imagine these strings are connected from one end to the other, right? And they're pulling the neck, they're pulling it, kind of bowing it in that U shape. So that's why the truss rod is in there to counteract it. It's a metal rod that goes down your neck on the inside. This one happens to have two. A lot of basses do. And all you do to get to that is take your truss rod cover off. I already did it, so I'm not going to do it, but it's easy. It's not that intimidating once you've done it a couple times. So take your cover off, 3 screws, bam. You'll see room in there for an Allen wrench. You stick it in there, and then important thing to know is if you're looking at the opening of the truss rod down, you can just think of it like a clock. Right is tight, left is loose. And you tighten it, it's going to create the N shape. So if your neck relief is like if you have too much of a U, you'll want to tighten it. If it's more, this one was just flat as a board, so I just slightly loosened it. I think maybe a quarter turn, and that was plenty. And the trick is don't expect immediate results. You'll want to wait. Some people say 10 minutes, but I wait like 20 at least. I mean, it goes from guitar to guitar. I mean, there's been too many times where I thought I waited long enough, and then I adjusted it some more, and then later on the neck's just like way over adjusted. I mean, not in a stupid way to where I was gonna break it or anything, but just dumb mistakes you make when you're learning. So just make sure to be patient with it, and other than that, it's easy. And what I usually do is I'll loosen the two middle strings, move them out of my way so I can get like as much of a turn, or just have an easier time turning it, because sometimes you'll get caught up on those strings or not even have room to get the Allen wrench in there. All right, so that's truss rod. Bam, easy. Just aim If you like it flat as a board, whatever, but I like the little bit of the dip. And yeah, don't do too much at once. You can damage your neck. Just do little adjustments. Like I said, easy. Just give it a try on your cheapest guitar, or heck, I learned on, you know, the one of my nicer guitars that I bought. I mean, as long as you do it slow and easy, it's fine. All right, next. So this bass had a lot of string or fret buzz going on, and actually a lot of it was on an open A, because we play in drop A on 7-string guitar, so he's an A on his bottom string, and it was just buzzing all over the place. The truss rod does help that a little bit if your guitar's way out of whack. This one was only a little bit, so I didn't get much help there. So the next thing you want to check for that type of thing, the buzz, is going to be your action. That's going to be right here on this bass. So, and every bass will vary, but you'll be able to find any bridge type you have, you'll be able to Google it and find out where you stick your Allen wrench, or in some cases it's a screwdriver. But for this guy, I don't know if you can see, they're really small Allen wrench holes, these front two right there. So I just raised it, and you can, I actually can't remember, I think you go right to raise it, but I could have that opposite. Either way, you'll see it go up and down. It's a dramatic change. So I just do like a quarter turn one side, a quarter turn the other side, and just keep going and play the note and kind of retuning, and just kind of, I like it just where it stops buzzing, but no higher, because then you're just screwing up you're just making it harder on yourself to play the instrument. You don't want your strings way too high, so just get it just as high to where it stops buzzing and stuff like that. And if you're having to crank the strings up ridiculously high and it's still buzzing, it could also be a nut issue, to where like maybe it's too filed down or something, and you might have to have it taken in and looked at. But for the most part, truss rod, and then raise your action, and you'll take care of most of that buzz. And on these, which is nice, is you can do it for every individual string. So this guy's going to need the most help, and then hopefully these guys you can get pretty flat. And just so that you know, like, I don't know. Oh yeah, also, I forgot what I was going to say there, but also check your pickup height. I don't know, I like them pretty close to the string, but obviously you don't want it to be in danger of the string touching it when you're playing, so keep that in mind. Other than that, intonation. And guess what? Like, for years I thought that, like, oh, I have to get my guitar intonated. I'll have to take it to a luthier or something. Like, that's so complicated. I wouldn't know what to do with that. Just exactly the reason you're here is how I found out how to do it. You Google it or you YouTube it, and there's going to be other guys explaining it too. So if I don't explain it well enough or in a way that you understand, it's actually really easy. All you got to do is tune your string to pitch, right? You tune that to pitch. You check it on the 12th fret on a natural harmonic, just so that, because the string's going to vibrate faster and hopefully be a little bit more accurate. You can, on a bass, just do the open note and tune that to pitch, but I like to do the natural harmonic. The trick to that is just make sure to move your finger out of the way so that you're not interrupting the way it wants to vibrate. So you do harmonic and move your hand, make sure that's to pitch, and then you're going to want to check the fretted 12th fret now. Then you check the fretted. And you kind of just don't press like down, like you're cranking on it. Just press just as hard as where you can fret the note. And if that's to pitch as well, you're good to go. That string is intonated. However, if it's flat or sharp, you'll have to adjust this. If it's flat or sharp, you'll actually want to bring this either forward or back. So if it's sharp, you want to lengthen the string, so you bring it back. If it's flat, you want to shorten the string, so you bring it forward. And make sure you do your truss rod and action first because th those are going to affect your intonation. If you intonate and then do the other things, you're just adding another step because you're going to have to intonate again, or you're just going to throw your intonation off. So, how you do that on this particular bass is there, I don't know if you can see that, but next to the string, there's screws. And these screws, when you go right, which is tight, it actually brings the saddle back. It's lengthening the string. So this bass was sharp, so I was tightening, I was going right and bringing this back. You'd think it'd be the opposite, but it's not. And you'll be able to see it happening. If you go the wrong direction, just back up and go the other direction. It's not a big deal. As you can see with the bottom string, I had to back it way off. Just I don't know. I don't really know the reason for that, but that's what I had to do to get it to be perfectly intonated. And then the reasoning for that is you're basically making that string in tune with itself. You play the open string, great, it's in tune. Now you're in tune on the 12. That means you're gonna be in tune down the whole neck. Then you do that with every string, and then every string's gonna be in tune with each other, perfectly intonated with each other. And then if you're playing with people and something sounds off when you play high up on the fretboard, you know it's not you. And what I you either tell them to intonate their guitar, or what I did is I intonated my whole band's guitars. That's why I'm doing this setup. I already did it for our other guitar player, and I'll do a guitar video another time. But yeah, it's easy. Just give it a couple tries and see what you do. You're not gonna damage your guitar unless you go do something really stupid with the truss rod, just like cranking away at it. And I just already told you not to do that, so that's not gonna happen. And yeah, you're good. That's pretty much it. So yeah. See you later.